The history of football is made of reversals of situations, sometimes deceitful blows, happiness and sadness. All such feelings are going through the supporters of PSG and Real Madrid at this very moment. The two teams had been working for months to secure the future of Kylian Mbappe. It was ultimately the French club that won, extending their striker's deal until 2025. Until the end, the negotiations lasted, tipping the case one way or the other. In any case, the secret remained well kept, right up to the last moments, because even at the beginning of the week, it was the Spanish champions that led the dance. We will no doubt know later on about the real ins and outs of this case. The fact remains that the Parisian management, led by Nasser Al Khelaifi, succeeded in a masterstroke by forcing the decision, all without any noise being whispered in the corridors of the club. I found out a few minutes before the announcement, acknowledged Mauricio Pochettino at a press conference. Honestly, I found out today. The club and Mbappe managed to remain silent. We got the news at the same time as you, said Ander Herrera in front of the press after the 5-0 victory against Metz. Since Kylian Mbappe chose PSG, reactions have been coming in from everywhere. In France, in Spain, but also in the rest of the world, where we followed this case very closely. For many, the Bondinois native made a choice based on financial rather than sporting criteria by staying in Paris. But what is it really? Well, according to Marca, there were extensive proposals made by the two clubs to the Mbappe clan, and contrary to what one might think, the two contracts were substantially similar. According to the Spanish media, Real Madrid were ready to offer him a 5-year contract with a salary of €30 million net per year, or a total salary of €150 million over the duration of his contract, with a signing bonus, the amount of which is not specified. For their part, according to the Madrid publication, the champions of France offered him €50 million per annum, €150 million over the next 3 years, but without a signing bonus, which more or less balances the two proposals. The newspaper does not mention the question of the players' image rights, however, but we also know that Real Madrid were ready to make great financial efforts. As you will have understood, the offers of the two clubs were therefore rather similar, and therefore we can't really say that PSG were the choice of money, the club of the French capital not having made a really superior offer than that of Real Madrid. This is information that should calm more than one on the other side of the Pyrenees. By convincing the star player to sign an extension and reject Real Madrid's advances, Nasser Al Khelaifi has further outlined PSG's ambitions in the long run. While the financial side of things cannot be ignored, we have to admit that from a sporting perspective, the Parisians are also the place to be. No player of Mbappe's quality turns down Madrid without a good reason. PSG wanted to make Mbappe central to everything the Liga giants want to do in the coming years, and showed him just how desperate they were to do that. There was a time not long ago when the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona would get their man. Fans of other clubs know the pain of watching their team's best players fall to the charms of the two Spanish giants, powerless to do anything. Even growing up, most of us knew one thing: when Madrid or Barcelona show interest in your best player, there's nothing your club could do to convince them to stay. But for the first time in ages, a player who's supposed to be replacing Ronaldo and Messi refused to sign for Real Madrid. And this brings us to another theory as to why it all happened. Kylian Mbappe refused to sign for Real Madrid, in particular because he feared a sanction from UEFA against the Madrid club for their part in creating the Super League project. The Spanish Daily explains that UEFA could sanction the founding clubs of this competition in August, in particular FC Barcelona, Real Madrid and Juventus, by depriving them of the Champions League for the next few seasons. It would have been a deal breaker for the 23-year-old Frenchman who dreams of winning the competition, which is why he finally decided to extend with Paris Saint-Germain until 2025, a decision that has earned the French international to lose many followers on social networks. So, following Mbappe's extension, you can expect a lot of changes incoming at Parc des Princes. The French attacker reportedly wanted Leonardo gone. The Brazilian has been blamed for a lot of mistakes in the transfer market, and it appears that the former player is set to be replaced by Luis Campos this week. Allegedly, the AS Monaco sporting director is very close to the Mbappes and is going to be given the keys to the kingdom by Nasser Al Khelaifi. The Portuguese's arrival is going to initiate the next phase of PSG's evolution. Both Mbappe and Campos worked together during the player's formative years in Monaco. And the first order of the day for Campos would be confirming the signing of Hugo Ekitike, who's had a promising season with Stade Reims and is valued at €45 million. PSG's new recruitment strategy would therefore be more about signing young players rather than throwing cash on experienced campaigners who may or may not get the job done. Linked to Paris Saint-Germain until June 2023, Mauricio Pochettino is more than ever in the hot seat. Moreover, the future Parisian sports director Luis Campos reportedly has a big weakness for his compatriot Ruben Amorim. Asked about Pochettino's future, Kylian Mbappe confirmed that he has a good relationship with the Argentinian, but that's it. The only guarantee I have is that he has a contract until 2023. I have a great relationship with him. The club will decide, but I get on very well with him, he told Le Parisien. Not sure that's enough to save the Argentinian, and it's not just Amorim. For several months, PSG had been eyeing Zinedine Zidane and even dreamed of having a duo of Zidane and Arsène Wenger. However, the latter's arrival is unlikely, with Campos set to be announced in a few days. But the Madrid legend's name has returned to the debate again. According to our information, the Zinedine Zidane track is still being considered within the Qatari management of the Parisian club. The presence of Leonardo at the club also slowed down a possible arrival of the Frenchman. And now that the former Brazil international has left, a new door is opening. One thing is certain, we can confirm that the contacts between Emir Tamim Ben Hamad Al Thani and Zizou are regular and particularly cordial. Parisian decision makers are ready to offer him one hell of a salary, more than the €12 million net he received at the Santiago Bernabeu, with a lot of decision-making power. It therefore remains to be seen whether the legendary midfielder will give the green light. Naturally, Mbappe's extension has really annoyed the people in Spain, with La Liga president Javier Tebas in particular very critical of the decision. In fact, he said a lot of things that actually made no sense. The La Liga Supremo called the renewal an insult to football and said that PSG's president Nasser Al Khelaifi was as dangerous as the Super League. Tebas posted what PSG is going to do by re-signing Mbappe with large amounts of money, which who know from where and how they, PSG, pay him after losing €700 million in the last seasons and having €600 million in salary expenses, is an insult to football. Al Khelaifi is as dangerous as the Super League. Well, if you ask us, Tebas is only mad because he must have been banking on Mbappe's arrival to help the league grow financially. The presence of big-name players always helps leagues from a commercial standpoint, and the Frenchman would have been a real cash cow for the league. Unfortunately though, the player has made his decision, and the sooner La Liga makes peace with it, the better it will be for them.